welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Christi and this is Christi Creates. And if you're not new, welcome back. So I thought today we would get festive and bring Santa Claus and the Christmas tree into the picture, and that can only mean one thing: Christmas DIYs. Let's go to the craft room and get started. So we are going to take one of these small tinsel trees and take the tinsel off of it so we just have the form. And we're also going to use these neon green, they are car wash mitts, and I'm going to take them apart. You can either use a seam ripper like I have there, or you can just cut them apart with scissors. I used the seam ripper at first, but the scissors were much quicker, so now I'm going to take my frame and I'm going to take one of the mitts and just kind of line it up. And at first I'm going to run a bead of hot glue around that bottom rim and get it stuck down there first, and then I will start attaching it in other spots. And this is kind of just a game of puzzle. You kind of piece them all together. You trim off any parts that are sticking off the edge and just kind of play around with it till it fits correctly. And then when you get to a seam, just kind of overlap it just a little bit and kind of put a bead of hot glue there, and that way it will stick to each other. And once you get the pom-poms on it at the end, you will never even notice that there is a seam there. And you're going to go ahead and just continue to puzzle piece it together. If you get to an area that it's too long, cut a piece off. If you need another little strip, then take your extra that you have sat to the side there, cut a little strip off of it, and eventually you can make them fit together and it will look like this one does. Now I'm going to take some smaller pom-poms. I used neon colors on these, and then I've also got this foam scatter that was from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use one of those glitter stars. I wanted just a little sparkle on it. You could also take the snowflake out of that bag as well if you liked the white, and you could paint the star if you wanted or glitter it with another color. And then I'm going to hot glue it on the top. And then I'm going to start placing my pom-poms. And this is just whatever makes your eyes happy. You put as many or as few as you want. And this actually looked really cute with red pom-poms, so that it was a red and green, more traditional look. I just wanted it to go in my craft room because I had been imagining this tree set for a long time. So that's why I did the bright, fun colors, because it's for my craft room and it's where I get creative, and bright, fun colors make me happy and make me more creative. So that's why I went with those colors. Here is another option that you could do. You could take one of these cones, and this is in the toy section at Dollar Tree, and I'm just cutting off the base of it. You can cut this pretty easily with scissors, as you can see here. And I'm going to cover it just like I did the other tree. Just piece together some of those mitts. You could also use one of those floral foam cones. Here I have a piece of poster board from the Dollar Tree, and I'm showing you how you can create a large cone with it. This one is very, very tall. It comes like halfway up my thigh, and then you could take that extra piece there and make you a smaller one to go with it. And that way you wouldn't even have to buy the small tinsel tree that I showed you in the beginning. I just wanted to give you lots of options so that no matter what size you were going to create, you could find what you needed to make it. And then also, like if you wanted, like me, different sized ones, you could create any size you want. So I made a super tall tree. Here I'm using one of those styrofoam pieces from Dollar Tree. I didn't even take it out of the plastic. And I'm putting it up in there just to kind of give it a little bit more, make it a little more rigid. It was kind of floppy since it was that thin poster board and it was holding up some of that weight. And here is what they turned out like. Guys, these are literally one of my favorite DIYs I have ever created. I love these so very much. So let me know what you think. Today's video is part of the Christmas Friend Friday Hop with Heidi Sonboul, and I am so honored that she asked me to be a part of this. Here are the other creators that are involved in today's hop. Make sure that you go down into my description box and click on the link that I will have posted, and that will take you to the next video, and you continue to do that. And if you leave a comment on all of the videos that are in the hop, all the way till you get back to my video, you will be entered to win this giveaway. And look at that, guys. $375 worth of gift cards right here at Christmas. Alright, for this one we are going to need some sort of fabric that matches your decor. I'm using red and black buffalo plaid because that's what my Christmas decorations are in. And then I'm also going to use burlap. And that is just scrap pieces that I found in the bin at Walmart. And then I'm using some thicker jute twine. You can use baker's twine, you know, whatever kind of twine you want. And here I'm just going to fold this over, and I'm going to take my rotary cutter and I'm just going to cut off little slices. I'm going to even it off here because it's kind of crooked at the end. And then I'm going to cut off, I think I do 4 of the little rows of plaid on each one. I think it was about 1.5 inches wide and probably about 8 to 10 inches long. And this is personal preference. It is however you want it to look. This was just the look I was going for, so that's the size that I cut it. And then once I get these slices cut, I'm going to go back. The ends were folded over, so I'm going to go in and cut those ends. And I'm going to go ahead and start stacking those up so they will be ready when I get ready to tie them on my twine in a few minutes. Now we're going to go on to the burlap and do the same thing. I'm doing about 1.5 inches wide. Like I said, that was just a personal preference. If you want it thicker, you can do thicker. If you want it thinner, that's fine too. And once I get all of those cut, I'm going to get my twine out and I'm going to make a loop in the end because we are making a garland and I want to be able to have a loop on each end so that I can hang it up fairly easy. So I make a loop and it's just basic. I fold it over and then tie a knot in it. Just a basic pull it through the whole knot and we make a loop and we tighten it up. And then I'm going to clamp the rope just so it's up off of my table. You wouldn't have to do this, but it just made it easier so that I don't have to lift up the twine every time. So I'm going to get it clamped on, and now we are going to start tying. And this is literally going to be just, here I was kind of ruffling up the edges. I wanted that rustic look on my fabric and my burlap. So I did kind of hit it on the edge of the table a little bit. But we're just going to literally tie a knot, and that's it. You're going to continue that over and over and over until your garland is as long as you want it to be. And you can push these as close together as you want. The closer you push the burlap and the fabric, the fuller your garland is going to be. So I pushed mine pretty close together because I wanted mine to be super full and fluffy. And make sure that you are going through the entire hop list. Like I said, you're going to go down to my description box. I'm going to have a link posted and it will say hop on over to this channel. That will take you to the next channel, And in their description box, once you watch their video, they will have a link posted in their description box. You will click on that link. And every time you watch someone else's video, make sure that you leave a comment and a like, and you will be entered to win that giveaway. Make sure you go until you get all the way back around to my channel, and that will mean you got through everyone's channel. Alright, we are finishing up our garland right here, tying a knot on the other end. And look how cute! You guys, so simple and easy, and it packs such a punch. Now we're going to take 2 of these signs from the Dollar Tree. They're the super long signs. I'm also going to take, I think this is a little like door hanger. I got it at Dollar General. It was just called a decorative bell ornament, but it wasn't really an ornament, I don't think. And then I got a J and a Y. They're just wooden letters from Hobby Lobby. They were $1.50 and I got them half price, so they were only 75 cents. Now I'm going to remove the brims off of the hats. And I kind of scraped around on that. I mean, you wouldn't have to do that because this is going to be on the back. So I removed both of those. And then I'm going to flip it over. And I need to remove those staples and that ribbon. This is a staple puller I got off Amazon. And if you don't have one of these, they are amazing at removing staples. It makes it a lot easier than like a flathead screwdriver or something. It just kind of pulls it right out for you. So now that I've gotten those removed, I am going to flip it back over to the other side. I do sand this just a little bit where those holes were from the staples, just to kind of even it out, because I will be decorating the back side, which is where these holes were. And I'm sorry if I get sidetracked. You guys know me. It's like I'm over here and then it's like squirrel, and I'm easily distracted. Alright, so I'm cleaning off the workspace just a little bit from where I had sanded and kind of making sure that they line up perfectly, and then I'm going to flip them over and connect them together so that we can start decorating. I'm just going to use popsicle sticks. You could use, you know, whatever you wanted if you had paint stir sticks or an old piece of wood or just whatever. I just kind of put them on there a couple of different ways so that I knew it would be pretty sturdy. And now I'm taking just some bright red paint. And I didn't want bright red, so I mixed some black in, thinking I'm going to get like a barn red color. And then I'm like, whoa, I mixed way too much black paint. So then we had to mix in basically a whole bottle of red paint. But, you know, got to show you my mess ups. And I'm trying to match the color on those bells pretty close. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but that's kind of the color I was going for. And then I'm going to go over this, and I think I end up giving it like 2 or 3 coats, and make sure to paint the edges as well because you will be able to see those. But I kind of gave it a couple of coats just so it was covered really well. And now I'm taking a bright green. I didn't have a deeper red and a deeper green color, so that's why I'm mixing it like this. I put a little bit of black in. I was going for a dark hunter green color, kind of to match the colors on that little wreath that we were using. So I give these 2 coats of the green paint. And then let those dry for just a minute. And then I decided that bow that is on there is not okay. It's like... So I removed the pine cones, and I had some red and black buffalo check ribbon that was the wired ribbon, and I just make just kind of a standard fold over bow. It's nothing fancy. I just folded it over, used a little pipe cleaner for the center, and then just glued it back down and reused the pine cones to decorate the center. And I do dovetail the ends just to kind of zhuzh it up a little. And then, like I said, just glue it down and glue the pine cones back down. And make sure you guys tell me below in the comments which one was your favorite today. I've been missing you guys, but you guys are gonna see a lot more of me. I've got 4 collabs in the next, I think 2 weeks, 2 or 2.5 weeks, so you guys will be getting more videos than normal. Yay! Okay, now I'm taking some wired jute cord, and I'm going to use this as my little hanger for it. So I'm just going to kind of put some hot glue down and cover it with masking tape. And then I flip it back over, and now we're going to get our letters all spaced out. I kind of measured so that it was pretty centered, and then glue the little wreath down in the center. And then it just looked too plain, so I decided to wrap some jute cord around each end to kind of jazz it up a little. And we're all done. What do you think? I thought it was really cute, and it's really big. You know how big those signs are. So when you put 2 of them together, it was a really good size. And this only costs 2 for about $5 to make if you already have the paint. So what do you guys think? Do you like it? I want to thank you guys so much for joining me